This is Mr. Wandrum, and this tutorial is on the area of a triangle. Now I tell the kids there's a few ways that you can actually find the area of a triangle. I put the formula up here, and I don't want to confuse anybody. So basically, the area of a triangle, base times height divided by 2. Now I couldn't do a divide by sign, so I'm just going to draw one right here. Divided by 2. So you go base times height divided by 2. Another way that they might see it on the CRCT or on the ITBS or something is 1/2 times base times height. And they just put them next to each other, which means multiply. 1/2 times base times height. Okay, that's the area. This one says, what is the height of the triangle ABC for the given base AC? So they're saying the base is AC. This is AC right here. Let me highlight that sucker. AC is going right along here. They're saying that is the base. Now, what I tell the kids all the time, that in a triangle, if you know the base, you know the height is going to be perpendicular to the base. Perpendicular forms 90-degree angles. Now, usually you'll see a little 90-degree symbol right here, a little square, to show it's a 90-degree angle. This one doesn't show one, but here's our choices. Okay, here's the base. CB. CB does not form a square, doesn't form a perpendicular line. AB, no, AB also does not form a perpendicular, doesn't form a 90-degree line. But look right here, BF. BF, you could actually make a square right in here. So BF is perpendicular to AC. So the height would be BF. Now if you called it FB, that would be fine also. Either one, you're just naming the same exact line, you know. So the base, the height. Okay. What is the base of a triangle ABD for the given height CD? Oh, so they're saying this is the height CD. They want to know the base. Base is perpendicular to the height, so the base is going to go this way. Look, we got A, we got B. The only reason C is out here is to show you the height of this triangle. The triangle is actually right here. This little checkered line doesn't mean anything. It's not part of the triangle. It's part of just showing you that it's perpendicular. So the base is going to be AB. That's what the kids get confused at, because they see this C here and they go, oh, I know, AC. But this little checkered line is not part of the triangle. You can see the solid line is the triangle right there, so it's going to be AB. Now this one definitely can get a little confusing. But once again, you're going to know which one it is because they tell you what the base is. The base is AE. What is the height of the triangle related to the given base? The height is AE. Now we see EB here, but look, notice, EB does not go perpendicular. It does not make a square right here. It's not perpendicular. Perpendicular would be this way. Okay, I know that's ugly the way I drew it, but that's not perpendicular. The only thing that I see perpendicular to AE is out here. That's perpendicular. If you extend this line, boom, look at that, perpendicular. And there's that little square box. So the answer would be DC. DC is the height. Okay. What some of the kids want to do is make AC the base. If AC was the base, EB would be the height, because it would be perpendicular. And they put that there. Man, they did. They put that there just to trick people, you know. They put that extra square there so you'll look at that. You're like, look at me, look at me. No, don't look at that one. They said the base is here. So find out the line that goes perpendicular to the base, and that would be DC. Okay, now here's some practice. Let's practice. Can you tell I love area? Yes, I love area. Area is fun. You know, I think area is fun because, I don't know, it's easy to me, and it's sometimes challenging. So we know the formula of a triangle. Area equals base times height divided by 2. Okay, so we want to find the area of this triangle. We can see the base is 8. We can see the height going right up through the center is 4. Look at what they did. They put the 6 here and the 5 here just to confuse people. but it's not going to confuse me. You know, I know the height is 4, so here's another shortcut. Watch this. I can go 8 times 4, which is base times height, which would be 32. Then I would have to divide 32 by 2. 32, this is nothing, divided by 2, which would give me 16. Or I can start off by taking half of it. Let me take half of this number, which is the base, which would be 4. If I divide by 2 in the beginning, then I just multiply. 4 times 4, which is 16. So this is going to be 16 centimeters squared. Okay, let's look at this one. Find the area of the shaded triangle. Okay, this is the shaded triangle. Now you can see what they're trying to do here. They're trying to show us this is the base. Okay, this is the base. If this was the base, they don't have any line perpendicular to this. They always put a line perpendicular to the base. Look at where this line is. That's perpendicular to this line. So we know this is the height. This 5 is the height. So, you know, the base is 5, the height is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. You divide 25 by 2. 2 goes into 2 once. 1 times 2 is 2. 5. 2 goes into 5 2 times. 2 times 2 is 4. You get a 1. Hey, if that happens, put a decimal. Put a decimal and a 0 and drop the 0. 2 goes into 10 5 times, and then you put the decimal up, so you get 12.5. Half of 25 is 12 and a half. Yeah, think if you have 25 bucks, what's half of that? 12 and a half, 12.50. So we got 12.5 centimeters squared. Okay. Now let's look at this one. Oh, this one's even easier. The base is 8. The height is 6. This means nothing. Kill it. Get rid of it. Don't want to know it. Well, we need to know it later. Not in 5th grade. Maybe in 6th, 7th, or 8th grade. We'll know that's the opposite of a right angle, so that's the hypotenuse. But strike that from your memory. Strike it. You don't need to know that right now. We need to know half of 8 is 4. 6 times 4 is 24 feet squared. Okay? Let me move this out of the way. Now this one says find the shaded area of the rectangle. Oh, the shaded area. This is the shaded area. So think about what we know. We know how to find the area of a triangle. We know how to find the area of a rectangle. This is where they want us to apply our smarts. So we know that this side is 6, so this side is going to be 6 because it's a rectangle. Half of 4 is 2. 6 times 2 is 12. So we know this part is 12. Now if we want to find this whole rectangle, the length is 11, the width is 6. 11 times 6 is 66. So 66 is the whole thing, guys. Don't get confused. That's the whole thing. But we want to get rid of this 12. So we're going to say 66 minus 12. 6 minus 2 is 4. 6 minus 1 is 5. So the shaded portion is going to be 54 centimeters squared. Okay. Now here's the last one. And notice how it gets a little more challenging each one. But they gave us so much information on this, they cannot fool me. Look, they tell us the height of this. Look at this triangle right here. They only want to know the shaded portion. That's this part, this part, this part, this part. The not shaded portion. Not shaded, not shaded. That's those parts. They don't want to know this part in the middle. So that's like 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles. We have to find the area of 4 triangles and add them together. We know the height is 10, but we don't know the base. But look at what they did down here. They said this whole piece is 15. Okay? This piece is 7. The whole piece is 15 because it's a rectangle. So wouldn't this have to be 8? Because 8 and 7 is 15. 8 plus 7 is 15, and this whole thing is 15. So now if I take half of 8, which is 4, 10 times 4 is 40. So I know this one is 40. I'm going to write it over here. Now I know the base of this one is 7, but I don't know this side. The height, I don't know the height. But look, they told me this whole thing is 12. They told me this little piece is 4, so this piece would have to be 8. right? Because 8 plus 4 is 12. So what's half of 8? 4. 7 times 4 is 28. So now I know this one is 28. So we got 28. Now this little one right here. We know this whole thing is 15. Over to here is 9. So this part would have to be 6, because 9 plus 6 is 15. Hey, look, if you're in 5th grade, like when I was in 5th grade, well, when I was in 5th grade, I was actually probably standing in the corner because I wasn't such a good kid, but that makes me a better teacher, I guess. But anyways, you just want to subtract 15 minus 9. I just did it mentally, but you can borrow from it. 15 minus 9 and you get 6. So this part is 6. Let's take half of 4, which is 2. 6 times 2 is 12. Okay, now we got that one, this one, and now we have this one left. We know this is 9. We know to here is 10, but this tells us the whole side is 12. So doesn't this have to be 2? Yeah, because 10 and 2 is 12. Okay, now if we take half of 2, that's 1. 9 times 1 is 9. Now we put the 12 here, and we put the 9 right here, and we can add these up. 8 and 2 is 10. 10 plus 9, 19. Carry the 1. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 89, and they said centimeters, so we're centimeters squared. Okay, that was the last problem. Hopefully you learned a lot on, how to find the area of a triangle. And if you need more practice, I didn't supply any practice problems here, but you can have your parents email me, let me know, and I'll make some copies for you. I'll give you some stuff to practice. This practice makes perfect. And if not, kids, you can just come up to me in class and tell me. This is Mr. Wandrum signing off from the tutorial area of a triangle.